long 2 years, and we've done a lot of different things trying to end what's occurring. We've done mail campaigns, we've done petitions, we've done rallies, marches. There was a truck convoy, there was a biker convoy. Myself and other teachers tried to file police reports for extortion against the school board, and then they said it wasn't a crime. There's been a lot of things happening. There's been legal challenges. We've had people who are learning more about the Bill of Rights because it seems to have much more teeth. We have people using charter challenges. We've got people using common law. A whole spectrum of different ways people have been trying to fight back against this.
But you know what? I gotta say something to you. Why do you have to use these fucking Trudeau signs?
It's freedom of speech!
And one of the things I love about this country at the end of the day, regardless of the sign you're holding, we all want the same thing. We want to be free, and we want our kids to be safe, and we want them to have a future. Okay. Now, what I've realized, we have to remember that it's the accumulation of all of our efforts and our actions that will turn the tide. And that tide is turning, I believe. Why? Because eventually, something that we do, one of the courses of action that are taken, will put a dent in the globalist armor. And once we know what was able to put a kink in their armor, we'll just start hammering it away. Everybody will get on board because we know what's working now. So it's very important we keep doing as many different actions as we can. It's a multi-pronged approach. And we have to do it pretty quick. And there's no giving up. This is what people have to remember. People get scared. People get worried about the future. There's no giving up.
Yeah, Mike J.
There is no giving up.
Yes.
Because if you give up, then you know what you're handing your children. So that's unacceptable. So don't ever think about giving up.
Yes.
Never. Central bank digital currencies, they've been announced. Digital identities, they've been announced.
Yes, they have.
You know, and they're about to hand over national sovereignty to the WHO. That's just around the corner. So what can we do now? Well, let me tell you what just happened in a few small towns in Texas the other day. A few school board candidates in Texas, they opposed the critical race theory, all the woke cancel culture, the mask mandates, and what happened? They completely swept the elections across Texas. They won in 9 municipal regions with 70% of the vote in what? An ultra liberal area. Interesting. Perhaps the woke cancel culture was all about making us believe in that most people think a certain way when it's actually not. To censor free speech, to prevent you from saying what you know is true. It's like, and they call a phobia of everyone, for whatever reason, just to silence free speech. It's almost like they have a nature phobia, like a fear of the natural order of things, and they want to fight everybody to censor you. It's very strange. But these educators in Texas, they basically, on the local level, organized and reclaimed their local government institutions and their schools. Why? Because they want to protect their children from any future Nuremberg-level child abuses. So the question becomes, what about here in Canada? Can we emulate the Texans? Does the municipal level here have any real power?
Sure does.
Well, being an educator with the Toronto School Board, I remember when the mandates were first implemented in the schools. The school trustees voted them in, and just a little while back, they voted them out. Let that sink in for a minute. The trustees voted in the mandates and voted out the mandates, regardless of what the federal and provincial governments had mandated. Now, our schools have been our students and our children, they've been harmed enough. They've been harmed enough by those who were entrusted to protect them. The school trustees voted for masks. They voted to isolate, segregate, manipulate, and force experimental injections that destroy their health. on our kids in the schools. They voted for measures that caused quadruple calls to the children's suicide hotline. A lot of people don't know about that part of the lockdowns. These politicians have a globalist agenda. These trustees, whoever's in the municipal, whoever's voting for these mandates, they clearly have a globalist agenda. Not the representatives of the people. The agenda is not for us. So it's time for the rise of the independents in all municipalities across the country to protect our loved ones from any more Nuremberg-level abuses. It stops now. It is time to purge our institutions of politicians and predators and fill them with parents and patriots.
Yes!
There's a fall election coming up. We don't want politicians anymore. We want parents. We want people that actually represent the people. So, right across the Canada, let's take back the trustees.
Yeah.
If we get people in the trusteeship, then we can vote no to all the mandates if they bring more.
Yeah.
If they had their chance to save our kids, now it's our turn. It's our turn. And it's feasible.
Yeah! Way to go,
That's the
Mike.
point. What's the point of coming to a rally if we don't have feasible solutions?
Yep! Yep!
So I'm just one person. I'm looking into it for myself. I'm not a politician. I'm a Canadian.
Yeah!
I'm not a politician. I love my children. I love my wife. I love the country I was born and raised in because it allowed me to have freedom in many aspects. Freedom of religion. A lot of people don't realize freedom of religion is not just bringing your religion when you move here. It's having the freedom to look at any religion and come to your own conclusion without persecution. That is worth fighting for. But we have to do something. There's no giving up. Because we already know this green movement, they're trying to destroy the wealthy nations. Like Canada, we have a lot of resources, don't we? We have a lot, right? And they want to destroy the petrodollar. They've already done that because they want to bring in a new system. And you can't have it equal across the board when you have wealthy nations with human resources. So what do? Climate change, the Green Initiative. Let's bankrupt the rich nations. That's what's happening. I can't tell you how many scientists and environmental scientists have spoken out over the last few years about the climate change being complete nonsense. Tons. You'd be stunned at how many scientists have been opposed to this. All it takes is a little bit of research. And that's another important thing. Everybody, you gotta do your own research. You got to, right? Because if it wasn't for doing more research, I never would have found out about the Bill of Rights. Right? For a long time, I went back and forth on the Charter and the Bill of Rights, but then I looked at the United Nations, what is it, the International Human Rights for the United Nations. The way it's written is just like the way the Charter is written, which means, but where the Bill of Rights is written as if your freedoms are innate. You see? Big difference. It's like the U.S. Declaration, right? So, we need to get into our municipal elections. We need to win. We need to put a halt to any mandates to try to push on us. And if any of the people in the municipal government are afraid to say no, which it appears like most of them these days are, you just remind them that, hey, we can't pass laws that violate our rights, now can we? Put it back to our Bill of Rights. Plain and simple.
Yes!
Enough is enough. We've heard this phrase for 2 years, but it is enough!
Yes!
You know, I'm usually the type, I don't like to talk unless I have something to say. I've said what I needed to say. I hope it helps some of you, and I hope some of you are inspired to start looking into running for your own municipal election. I'm looking into it myself.
Yes.
I'm on the school board. I'm like, you know what? I can't let this happen. I didn't. I stayed out of it. I wasn't working this whole time. I can't be a part of this. Integrity is vital in our government system. We need to put parents and patriots, I keep saying it, they need to take back municipal governments so we can end this and work grassroots and work our way up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike J.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mike J. Thank you.